What's up, everybody? Welcome to my garage attic where it's hotter than Satan's butthole. But today I'm going to teach you how to do a muscle up. And I don't mean that in the traditional sense, like a muscle up tutorial. I'm going to show you 5 hacks, like actual hacks that will help you break the plateau of doing a muscle up. So let's get into it. The reason I'm calling this hacks and not a tutorial is because there are thousands of tutorials on muscle ups, and I want to give you a new approach in my experience of coaching muscle ups of just how to break the muscle up, because there are a lot of people that are strong enough to do it, but they just can't seem to get over the bar. So I'm going to give you 5 actual hacks that will help you, and maybe one of these, try all of them, but maybe one of these can be the thing that actually gets you on top of the bar. So tip or hack number 1 is going to be emphasizing the stretch reflex. That is, if you think of your body as like a rubber band, when we stretch that rubber band, we're creating a lot of energy and we're storing it up, and then we're letting go of that rubber band and we're using that stretch to create momentum and propel ourselves over and around on top of the bar. That was a bar here. So I'm going to show you how to do that with a really simple method. All right, so here is method 1, the stretch reflex. You're going to need some form of platform that you can stand on and step off into the muscle up. So as you see, my arms are slightly bent as I'm grabbing onto the bar. The stretch reflex is going to be activated by stepping off and coming to almost that full extension to create that rubber band effect, and then once you reach that full extension, we're going to use that to propel ourselves backwards. So what that looks like, it's very simple. All we're going to do is step off the platform, and we're going to kind of aim a little bit in front of the bar. So we're going to come in front of the bar, and then we're going to push ourselves backwards or pull ourselves backwards as hard as we can using that stretch reflex. So it's going to practice it, just practice stepping off and pulling. So step off, pull. Step off, pull. And once you get used to that activation, pull really hard, and maybe this hack is going to be, you don't even need to watch the rest of them. You can just use this one hack to propel yourself over the bar. So what it looks like all put together, we're going to activate, stretch, and then pull ourselves up. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be starting on top of the bar. Because a lot of people who have tried to do muscle ups don't know how it feels. I don't even know if this is going to be high enough or close enough. A lot of people don't know how it feels to be on top of the bar. It's a scary place if you've never been there. It's high up. You don't know how your body weight feels or where you need to orient yourself to get on top of the bar. And this is going to help you focus on where the target is that you're trying to aim to get yourself on top of the bar. You'll know if you're too short, you won't even be able to hold yourself on top of the bar. And if you're too far over, you're going to feel like you're going to flip forward. So you want to find that balance. So we're going to start on top of the bar, and then we're going to push up into that high position. So I have a ladder here, obviously. Whatever you need to get on top of the bar, this is sketchy as hell. Whatever you need to get on top of the bar, do that and get comfortable here. You're just going to be like, dang, this is kind of scary. And then from here, we are going to control the descent down into a pull-up dead hang. So from here, we're going to control, and then make sure you're not touching the ground. We're going to control into that dead hang, because that's a scary thing to feel, that full drop into from the top of the muscle up down. But once you overcome that little fear, that could be the hack that helps you get over the bar, because again, we're kind of trusting our body and figuring out where we need to be, or where we need to place our chest on the bar to feel comfortable. So do that a couple of times, and then maybe even the second muscle up, I always say, is the easiest because of that stretch reflex. We now have a giant platform that you are coming all the way down from to activate that stretch reflex to ride that momentum back up. So it's going to look like this if you want to try going straight into a muscle up. I'm going to get back on my tower. I'm going to go up here. Okay, so we're here. I'm going to control, stretch reflex, back up. So starting on top of the bar, getting over that fear, that is going to be hack number 2. All right, so hack number 3 is going to require a lot more strength than the other 2 hacks, because we're going to eliminate one of the phases of the muscle up, because a lot of people struggle with combining the kip and the pull at the same time. It's a timing thing. You have to combine it with the stretch reflex. It just feels, it's difficult until you get used to it. And again, these hacks aren't going to work for everybody, so just pick and choose which ones you're going to try. I would suggest, I've taught a lot of people how to do muscle ups with this technique, but you do need a lot more strength to do it. So this is gonna help you with the timing. We're taking out the pull portion, and we're just gonna start with just a kip as hard as we can, because this is gonna teach you how to kip, because you have to be able to kip very hard to get yourself over the bar with this method. So method 3, we are going to pull ourselves into the highest position we can. From here, we are going to get a little bit of a rocking motion, and we are going to try to kip as hard as we can to create as much momentum with our legs as we can to flip on top of that bar and then push up. The reason this is difficult and requires more strength is because you have to hold that high position. There's going to be a tiny bit of a drop as we kip into it and flip over the bar, but the objective here is to kip as hard as you can, because this is going to teach you how to kip very hard. So then when you know how to kip properly, when you combine that with the pull, you're going to fly over the bar. That's why it works so well if you can do it. So here's the demonstration. We are going to go from a pull-up into the high position. So we're going to be here. And remember, we're going to just get a little bit of a swing. And we're going to try to kip as hard as we can to get on top of this bar. Here we go. On top of the bar, back down. Ooh, I almost missed the pad. So as you can see, I kipped as hard as I can. I'm gonna do it one more time to get into that position. And the key is just to generate as much momentum with your legs as possible. So here we go again. We're gonna go high position here. Get as much swing or kip as you need. Use as much leg momentum as you want. And then pull and then get on top of the bar. So that is method 3. Hopefully that helps whoever uses that one. Hack number 4, I'm gonna have to move the camera for. I don't have a lot of room, and that's as wide as this angle lens will go. So, but hack number 4, this is gonna be more of a visual concept or a mental concept to have in your head to show you, visualize the pattern of the pull. So this is vertical, this is horizontal, this is diagonal. If you think about which one the muscle up, which one do you think it is? Diagonal. Good job. I know you all got it right. So if we pull vertical, we're going to go straight into the bar. Our chest is most likely going to hit the bar, and we're going to get dead stopped right here. If we pull horizontal, I don't even know how you do that, but you're going to go that way. If we pull diagonally, we are going to go upwards behind the bar, and because our hands are not letting go, if you let go of the bar, you're still going to go that way. But since we're holding onto the bar, we're going to arc. We're going to go from that 45-degree angle. Think about it as like a hook. We're going to hook on top of the bar. This tip works really well because a lot of people don't understand it's not pulling upwards, it's pulling backwards and hooking on top of the bar. So from this side angle, this is what it looks like. Practice it first, driving the elbows forward and down, because that's going to help you realize that you're going at a diagonal. So here, we're going to drive our elbows down. Oh! Oh! We're going up high, and then guess what? I'm going to pull really hard this time. I'm going to throw in a little kip, and I'm going to hook right around the bar, and you can see it from this angle. You won't be able to see the top position because this angle or this lens isn't wide enough. So here's the angle of the pull. Straight up. Look at that. Easy day. That's hack number 4. Man, it's dark here. And then hack number 5 is more of a training exercise that we're going to do. All the other ones are kind of like practical application. You can just try it out and see if it works. Hack number 5 is going to be something that you need to train. Who knows? Maybe you'll just explode and fly away and get on top of the bar first try. Haven't had that happen in my experience, but these types of pull-ups that I'm about to show you really help with showing you how hard you can pull. We are going to do high clapping pull-ups. I know it sounds self-explanatory, but usually when we clap, we get really nervous when we're about to let go of the bar. We clap in front of our face, and we grab the bar here. I want you to go up as high as you can. You can start with hand release pull-ups first. I'll show what those are in a second. But we want to go into a full clap because you want to get airborne. You want to pull as high as you can. This is going to teach you how to become explosive and utilize that stretch reflex to get up really high. We're not focused on getting on top of the bar. We're just focused on getting as high as possible and then getting a little bit of fear involved because we're letting go and clapping at the same time. So here we go. These hand release pull-ups. This is going to be the first demonstration. I'm going to pull as high as I can, and release. Pull as high as I can, release. You see how my legs come up a little bit? My body's like, oh no, I'm gonna fly away from the bar. But you see how softly I land? It's a little scary. That's the whole point. I wanna get a little bit of fear. So now, I wanna hear you do this. I wanna hear you clap. We're gonna pull and clap. Here we go. High as you can. Okay, that was a little exaggerated. You don't need to get your knees to the bar. But as long as your head is clearing the bar and you're not like doing one of these, those don't really help too much. We want to get over the bar, right? Explosive. Whoa, that was pretty high. Now I'm going to pull as high as I can to show you how high you can pull if you really practice. Ooh, that was pretty good. So I'm riled up. I'm like, oh man, I feel explosive. Let me see what happens if I just, oh man, we're on top of the bar. I'm not trying to be arrogant with this stuff. I'm just trying to motivate you all to like, the concept of it is scary, I get it. But I've taught 240-pound basketball players who are relatively in good shape, who could do like 10 pull-ups to get their first muscle up just with a few of these exercises. So if a guy who is not specialized in pull-ups and he just stays in relatively decent shape, because a muscle up's not like something I'd recommend to somebody who's never trained before. You obviously have to work up to it. It's so hot, I'm so winded. But if he can do it, you can too. I promise you that. Hopefully these help, and that's all I got.